Good evening, or should I say good morning? Good morning, YouTube. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to my YouTube creators, my subscribers, my support team, my moderators, everyone that loves Arabia Barbosa. Even though it's a confused relationship, love and hate, whatever it is going on, it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I'm your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa. I'm not going to be up here that long, but I just wanted to let everyone know this is Friday. Happy Friday to everyone. Happy Friday. It is what it is. I was hoping to go to work this morning, but the tickets ran out, so I had to come back to my house. Come back to my, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about nothing I can't take to the grave with me. I can't take the money to the grave. I can't take the apartment to the grave. I can't take my clothes to the grave. I can't take nothing to the fucking grave. Hey, dear, you are so wonderful. You are so wonderful. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was on Lonnie One Love's chat earlier this morning, and she was talking about whatever she was talking about, and she kept saying people drop Arabia's link, and she told me to drop my link, and she told me how to do it, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know how to do it. Shout out to Lonnie One Love, the Empress over there. Shout out to you, because I know you're at work right now. I know you're enjoying your life. You're probably in the bathroom somewhere. Lonnie works how she works. She does what she wants to do, and that's fine. A lot of women on YouTube do what they want to do. They do what they want to do. Brown skin lady, she works her job. Not really a job, a career. Brown skin lady got a career. A social worker. But we got one YouTuber over here in this sector saying that she works at Bojangles. I know that's a goddamn lie. That's a goddamn lie from the pits of hell. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I didn't want to be up here that long. I just wanted to tell y'all that I'm looking up my grandfather's information. He fought during World War II. I want to know the whole truth about that. So it is what it is. He fought in the Navy. He was a young man when he enlisted during World War II, fighting against those Nazis and all the motherfuckers that was hating on the United States and certain ally countries at that time, which was England and France at that time. Yeah. But shout out to the chat. Yeah. But I had to release that that video I did about the White Mama video. It was done on March the 5th, 1980. The director was Jackie Cooper. One of the actors in the movie, his name is Ernest Hardin Jr. Yeah. He was born 8 years after my biological father was born. So shout out to him. Shout out to Betty Davis. Shout out to the director of that film, White Mama. Yo, that shit was the bomb. If y'all want to look up anything on anything, any different movies, do your research or look up these people. It's good. It's good. Yeah. But what I'm gonna say in this video is not too serious. It's Friday. Thank God for Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. Thank the universe it's Friday. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to my moderators. My moderators, you supported this channel and my other bigger channel way before I came to this channel. You supported every channel I ever did. A shout out to you. It is what it is. And next week, I hope to do a Cash App giveaway. Hope to do a Cash App giveaway next week. And, you know, it's just going to be simply trivial questions. Because you know how deep I get. When I do my research on different stuff, on history or whatever going on, I do it and I tell y'all, find out the answer. Is that right or am I wrong? For those of you that are subscribed to this channel, you know how I feel about everything. Whether it be on YouTube or any social media platform, you know how I feel. You know what I think. You know what I like. A shout out to the chat. A shout out to the chat. But what I realized the other day, and I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. Now don't run away from me. I did not mean to do it. I looked at the another movie, Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil. She was a villain. She was villainized in the younger movies when they was doing those movies about the 101 Dalmatians. I remember that movie because I remember my sister being in the hospital giving birth to her first child. She was very successful in giving birth to that child. Because you know why she was successful? Because I was there with her. I was there with her until I couldn't be there no more. I had to leave because at that time I was living in transitional housing in New York, in Yonkers, New York. Shout out to Yonkers, New York. We are in the motherfucking house. We're in the motherfucking house. Shout out to Yonkers, New York. And I remember waking up the next day after I left for my sister in the hospital. Waking up the next day, going down the stairs. And one of the staff members gave me the piece of paper and said, well, your sister just had the baby. When did she give birth to the baby? She gave birth to the baby earlier today. They need you to go to the hospital. It was snow on the ground. I didn't give a fuck. I knew where my sister was at. I took the bus. I could have walked. I could have did whatever I wanted to do to get to that hospital to see my sister and see my niece. And when they brought my niece into the hospital room where her mother was sitting there, where the mother was in the bed, the mother was watching the TV, the mother was just simply drinking water, whatever she was doing. And I remember them bringing the baby into the room. And I remember the nurse putting the baby in my arms. And I sat there and I looked at the baby and I looked at my sister and I looked at the baby again and I said, oh my God, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do before we leave this earth. And I just held the baby. And the baby was asleep in my arms while I was watching the movie and talking to her mother. I did not put the baby in a bassinet. I put the baby in her mother's arms because that's where the babies need to go. They need to go into their mother's arms. And guess who's been raising the baby ever since then? Her mother. Not me, not the father, not the state of New York. Shout out to my sister for not being a deadbeat mother like my mother was. My mother was a deadbeat. She was a traitor. She was a hater of her own children. If that woman was a black widow, she would have ate all of us. She would have ate all of us. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. But I'm just here for a little while. I'm not going to be here that long. Shout out to Brown Skin Lady for doing her videos. I know she don't work at no goddamn Bojangles. She don't work at no goddamn Bojangles. That woman got a career. She ain't got no job. But every job is really a career. When you really look at it, if they give you health benefits like medical, dental, 401k, time off of work, employee assistance program. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Because a lot of you like to work them jobs where you don't get no kind of benefits. You got to go to a job, at least they got benefits going. Even the one of the employment staffing services company I work with, ever since I got out of prison, they got medical insurance for their own workers. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the motherfucking chat. And Lonnie One Love, you did that video this morning and you shout me out. And you said, Arabia, I want you to drop your link. I said, I don't know how to drop it. And you know what Lonnie said? No excuse. Go to your own channel, press on to your channel avatar, press on to the 3 buttons. When you see it, it will show you how to share your channel. Boom. I shared it immediately to Lonnie One Love, Empress Lonnie One Love over there, doing her videos. Well, Lonnie, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Good Lord have mercy, Jesus. I'm going to tell a whole lot of truth on this channel. Whole lot of truth. And a lot of people know me as being, and I'm going to tell you who I am. I am Arabia Barbosa, 914 Woodson County, New York. I did state time years ago for a common law robbery charge. That's what they charged me when I went to court. But when I was originally charged, I was charged with strong arm robbery, robbing a store with an axe. They used to call me Chopper Mama. Chopper Mama. That's what they called me. But I'm good. I'm good with that. And I got locked up in 1994. I got sentenced in 1995. And I went to the penitentiary, sat there for 6 years and 7 months. A shout out to the chat. My judge was Judge Schuler. He gave me 8 years. 8 years. I was 22 years old when he gave me my 8 years. So when I left out of the goddamn penitentiary, I was 28 years old. I was a couple of months short of turning 29. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. It's not telling you to be proud of doing crimes and getting locked up. That's nothing to be proud of. We need to be shamed. But I refuse to be shamed by a system that pushed me to that edge. A shout out to the chat. And they tried to do it a few years ago. Yeah, they tried to set me up a few years ago. August of 2011. I was sitting in fucking New York, Yonkers, New York, right there in my apartment. 54 Saratoga Avenue. And I got that phone call, 10:30 that evening. And she said, Arabia, I just called to tell you, are you alone? I said, I'm alone. She said, sit down in the chair. I sat down in the chair. She said, what you got playing in your apartment? On my television, I had the Jigsaw movie, the third movie installment of that franchise playing. The music was playing from that DVD. She said, turn it off. I turned it off. She said, I just want you to know that Crystal and the kids are dead. I said, what happened? Because the way she made it sound, they all died at one time. I thought it was a car accident. No car accident. She said, Arabia, they were all killed. Killed how? A dumbass nigga from South Carolina, man in South Carolina, decided to kill all of them. And what was he trying to do? He was trying to get into the music industry. He was trying to sell the clothes. But before he was trying to do all this, he needed support. And my sister-in-law decided not to give him any more support, not to give him any more anything. He got angry with her. And what did he do? He went to that house in Newport News, Virginia, that apartment she lived in. Not too far from Warwick Boulevard, not too far from that. And he chopped her down like a tree. He chopped down my nephew, Laquan. He chopped down my nephew, Rashid. He chopped down my 15-year-old niece, Sierra. And the only thing Sierra was trying to do at that particular time, when they found her body, it looked like she was trying to get out of the house. When they found her, she was burned beyond recognition. No hair, no nose, no lips, no skin. They actually thought that was a grown woman. When they did her dental records, they found out that child was 15 years old. If Sierra would be living right now, Sierra be right in my house right now, running everything. Wherever I go, that's where they would have went. This nigga, John Moses Reagan, a bitch ass nigga, a lame motherfucker, a dusty, low, no name or brand, drag nasty, dusty, lame nigga from South Carolina. Sword in his heart to do what he did. And he didn't have to do it. Dumbass nigga. Every time I think about this nigga, I get emotional. Every time I think about this nigga, I get emotional all over again. And I want that nigga dead. He don't deserve the death penalty, even though we voted for the death penalty against this nigga. And I met other niggas just like him on this road of life. And every time I meet a nigga like that, I immediately got my antennas up. And I be like, oh, I don't deal with niggas like that. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Niggas like that need their dick cut off and put in their fucking mouth, shoved down into the throat area. They need to be disemboweled and beheaded, chopped up and set on fire. Donna, Donna, you came in. Oh, Donna, Donna, I don't want you to come in. Donna, thank you for coming in. Donna, thank you for coming in. But I'm on one of my rants. I'm on one of my rants. But thank you and DL for supporting this channel. But I gotta speak my goddamn truth. And I hate those niggas that like to beat on women, like to beat on children, like to terrorize everyone. And they only get this information from their own fathers or from their own mothers. That's what they do. That John Moses Reagan bitch ass nigga, he was raised in a 2-parent home. The mother was there, the father was there. But let me tell you something about the father. The father became a crackhead while John Moses was young. But that's still no excuse as to why he killed my sister-in-law, why he killed my niece Sierra, my nephew Laquan, my nephew Rashid. When they found Rashid was stabbed over 27 times. What did a 6-year-old child do to you? No, but what he wanted to do, John Moses Reagan, what he wanted to do, he wanted to destroy all my brother's seeds. He kept his seed alive. And his seed was the main one that told the authorities what he did when he went in that house. He didn't see it eyeball. He saw it when he came out of the fucking building. The mother didn't come out. The sister didn't come out. The two brothers didn't come out. All of them was in the apartment in Newport News, Virginia. The man tried to burn down the apartment. All y'all gotta do is type in the words Sergeant Crystal Reagan. Sergeant Crystal Reagan. And it will tell you what happened. I was living in my apartment in New York. One of my sisters, she didn't want to tell me. She was afraid what could happen. And she said Arabia gonna be like a ghost all over the world. Arabia gonna get apartments, Arabia gonna get jobs, Arabia gonna get money, but Arabia is gonna still be a ghost. We don't need her to be a ghost. I'm a ghost. I'm not a troll. I am Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. I was born March 18th, 1973, right there in Westchester County, New York. Anybody can pull up my birth certificate. You can find out where I'm at. But I remember, and I will never forget that day, as long as I fucking live. But then there was a YouTube channel that said there's 5 different ways people can become ghosts. And that's one of the ways. Dying a violent death, or dying by suicide, or whatever. Usually suicide and violent death. Those that die in their sleep, they don't have that problem. And I said to myself, I gotta wake up from this nightmare. I got to wake up from this fucking nightmare. It's not a nightmare, it's fucking reality. And I'm sorry if everybody's disappointed. But the BT 1000, that's who I am, was not born, she was created. I am Arabia Barbosa. I am, aka the BT 1000, aka the Jibber Creeper on this shit, aka Lucy the Vampire, aka the German Shepherd in the fucking goddamn motherfucking room. People go over there to Andre O.D. Kimball channel, and you will see how my anger gets down. Now, what happens when I come off this channel? What happens when I leave from off of YouTube and live my real life? The only one in here with me is a ghost, like myself. Great Grandma Barbosa, Bertha Barbosa. Shout out to you, aka Bertha. Mohawk Indian, a shaman. Her son became a shaman. Uncle Lawrence was a shaman. Now I'm gonna get off of here. I don't want too much going on. But I want y'all to talk to each other. While you're in the chat before I close it out. All right? Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here. Y'all have an awesome day. Have an awesome weekend. I'm just letting loose my steam. How I feel about the world, how I see how some of my relatives get down, and the ones usually on YouTube are more real than the real motherfuckers in the real world. A shout out to the chat. I'm out of here. Y'all have an awesome day.